What's going on, everyone? Today I'm at SeaWorld for the SeaWorld Inside, and if you can hear behind me, there are the sea lions. We're basically walking around SeaWorld. They have a bunch of behind-the-scenes encounters where you can get up close and learn a lot more about the animal care programs that they do here, and how they kind of interact with their animals, how they train their animals, how they take care of them. We are starting here at the sea lion and otter primary housing, and they're going to take us backstage and just kind of talk about how they handle and take care of the animals, which is really cool. This is, I think, something that a lot of people would be interested in seeing, because not only do you get to see how they kind of interact with the animals, but you get to see where they are actually housing at and doing all their stuff. So these sea lions, man, they are crazy.
So welcome to our back areas. Now, in this particular area of the park, we're actually very lucky in that we take care of two separate groups of animals. We take care of the exhibit with the sea lions and the harbor seals, and we also take care of all of the animals that participate in the shows. They are our stadium animals. How many of you have seen our show before? Yeah, our different versions? Guess what? It's a play. We have actors, not just human ones, but animals as well. When you guys see Clyde and Seymour out on stage, you could be seeing anywhere between 8 different sea lions that play the parts of Clyde or Seymour. In just a moment, we're gonna go a little bit further down to the apartment of Queso and Pepperjack. If you guys are wondering how we come up with our animals' names, last year was 2017, Queso, Pepperjack, Gordo, Gouda. Yeah, we totally went cheeses. So,
So we just finished doing the Manta Aquarium tour, which kind of takes you backstage of the Manta Aquarium area. So we got to stand up above the aquarium, just kind of like look around, and you can see the mantas swimming through there. And there's a young lady up there who just kind of talked about how they maintain the aquarium itself, how they feed the mantas and the sharks and other things, because there are some other species of fish that live in the Manta Aquarium. Things like sharks and other species of manta and fish. So it was really cool. After that, they took us downstairs and showed us kind of like the behind the scenes of how they make the water work, right? So all the plumbing and piping, and there's a man down there who talked about it, which was really cool. So we're in the aquarium now. We're gonna walk around and check it out. All right, so far we've done 2 places. We still have at least 4 more to go, but what's really cool is that you can pick up a map, and in the map, down here towards the bottom, they have these places where you can get stamped, and once you get them stamped, you can actually go pick up a collector's pin or a limited pin or some type of special pin. We don't know if you actually have to pay for that or if it's free yet, but we'll find out once we get enough stamps. So right now we are at station number 1, which is behind me. This is the fish house. Basically here, just learning about the food that comes in for the animals, whether that's, you know, fish or squid or shrimp or whatever, and how it gets processed for the animals. So the line's getting a little bit long, but they have been doing a pretty good job of moving us through quickly. So let's go check it out. So we just finished seeing the fish house, or the fish commissary, basically, where they prep all the food for 5 different areas within the park. One is the chamois area, or the killer whale area, basically, and some other smaller areas around the park, which is really crazy. They get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. It's only 2 people, and they prep about 3,000 pounds of food, which then they get it all cleaned up, and they have to put it on a truck, and they have to deliver it to every area, and then they have to take it off the truck. So a lot of work that actually goes into prepping all the food for just those few areas. I think they were saying that it's about like 5,000 to like 7,000 pounds, but about 3,000 pounds just for about 5 places in the park, which is a lot of food. So another cool thing is that they buy all of their fish in bulk from multiple different fish suppliers. So, and that comes from all over the United States, whether it's here in the ocean or up in the Great Lakes. And another cool thing that I want to mention is that up in the Great Lakes, they actually have a nuisance species of fish that has been basically kind of reducing the habitat for natural species. So instead of catching the natural species, they decided to actually start fishing the nuisance species, which still has the same basically makeup and nutrients for their animals here. So that's what they do now, and they can catch an unlimited amount of that nuisance species because it shouldn't be there anyway. So kind of cool how they're trying to rebalance some of these areas. But we're going to keep moving on. We still have another 3 areas to go to, and a cool presentation at 1:30 that we're going to check out here soon. So. All right, so we just went and checked out the last of the 4 required stamped areas. There's 6, we've done 4. And the last one that we just did was the Animal Ambassador Hamlet. This is an area where you'll often see a lot of the animals and the caretakers out and about in the park. And they stop and they educate, guests on what that animal is, their habitat, and different things that maybe the animal is overcoming or why it's here and whatnot. They also are the same people that you may see on like the local news or at a school or something like that when they do demos, which is really cool. We got to see a sloth in there that they've had now for about 5 years, and they got it from down in South America somewhere. It was very young, didn't have a mother or anything like that, and so there was a team of people down there that took it in and basically took care of it until they were ready to either try to put it back into the wild, which they found that it wasn't going to work, so they reached out to SeaWorld, and SeaWorld has been taking care of it now for 4 years, and the sloth is 5. So another thing is that they house some of the animals during the nativity scene that they do here at the little stadium show behind me, or in the theater behind me, sorry, every year for the Christmas time. So they'll actually rent those animals from farmers and things like that, and they actually have a nice little facility back here where they keep them. So the next thing that we're going to do is go into the theater here and check out a presentation by Chris Fisher. He is the founder of O-Search. They basically look after a lot of sharks, apex predators in general in the ocean. So they'll tag them and follow them around and learn a lot more about them for research purposes, which is really nice. All right, so the last stop that we're gonna make today is here at the SeaWorld Rescue Center. This is actually probably the one place that I'm most excited to see. I'm assuming that this is gonna be a look into where a lot of like the veterinarians, the techs, people who are responsible for not necessarily always rescuing the animals, but after they have been rescued, taking care of them and rehabilitating them and making sure that they're good to go back into the wild if they can, and if they can't, ensuring that they are well taken care of before they get sent to maybe another facility to live out the rest of their life in captivity. So I do know that SeaWorld does a lot that does not get a ton of mention, but yeah, we're gonna head on in and see what it's all about.
So we're gonna start off right here by talking a little bit about how the process of the rescue actually starts. So we're going to use the example of a manatee today. So we work really closely with a lot of government agencies when it comes to rescuing. So we work closely with Florida Fish and Wildlife. So let's say that you guys were out and you happened to see a manatee that had been hit by a boat. You can call Florida Fish and Wildlife. They would send their representatives out to sort of investigate and check on the animal. If it was deemed that that animal, oh yeah, has been hit by a boat, it needs to be rescued, they will call us. So if we get that phone call, we're gonna pretty much immobilize immediately. Grab this boat, grab our rescue van, and head on out to the coast. We're going to set our net in a nice big circle all the way around the animal. If you take a look at the boat, it's designed very differently than maybe any other kind of boat that you've seen before. The engine for the boat is kind of at the middle or the front kind of end of the boat there, and the net and the animal would be all the way at the back right here. So the boat itself is actually almost underwater. So the water is going to come like right here as we're in the water there. So
all right, so we have finished doing all of the inside looks here at SeaWorld Orlando. The last one that we did, which was the SeaWorld Rescue Center, was probably my favorite. It just really showed how much effort that SeaWorld really puts into taking care of animals and rescuing them. A couple of things they were talking about, some highlights, were some of these sea turtles that they brought down all the way from New England, which had gotten a cold stress, and so they basically have to be rehabilitated here. I'm sure there's other facilities that could do it, but SeaWorld can take them in and do that. Another big one is that they basically take in a lot of manatees, specifically here in Florida, but also going up the East Coast, which is really cool as well. So as much as they can, they will take these animals, rehabilitate them here, and then put them back out into the wild. That's their job, and that's what they really do a great job of. So, and it was really cool to see. They have basically the boats that they use. They showed us how they transport, and all of it was really, really cool. Basically, now that we have finished doing all of this stuff, we have gotten all of our stamps on our map here. So we're actually going to head back to the place behind us, which is the SeaWorld Rescue Center, and get our pins. You do get your little free pin here, and it is free. You don't actually have to pay for it, which I think is a great benefit. This declares me as a 2019 Expert Explorer here at SeaWorld. On a very serious note though, I think what they are doing here for these couple of weekends is actually really nice. I think it is super educational, and I definitely think that it benefits the entire community as a whole, both as to what SeaWorld does and just on an environmentally friendly aspect, I think. Again, I will say that I think that the rescue area was probably my favorite, just because it really gives you an inside look and a backstage viewing of how and what SeaWorld does behind the scenes that I think a lot of people don't give them recognition for, and I think that they deserve it. So they rescued a ton of animals last year, and I'm sure that they're going to do that again this year, and so yeah, it's really cool. Let me know if you have been here to SeaWorld before to check out some of their backstage area stuff, or if you're planning on coming here in the near future.